Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, hari ini saya akan membincangkan tentang presentation about the engineering technologies and the private sector. Nama saya Muhammad Kamal bin Asran. Okay, saya akan menerangkan berkenaan dengan introduction engineering technologies and the private sector. Sebagaimana yang kita tahu, teknologi kejuruteraan merupakan tunggak utama kepada teknologi hari ini, di mana satu pergerakan dalam dunia teknologi yang semakin pesat berkembang. Ini adalah kerana kumpulan ini akan menerajui syarikat dalam industri pada masa yang akan datang untuk meningkatkan daya saing terhadap syarikat yang sedia ada di seluruh dunia. Terdapat beberapa elemen yang penting yang perlu ditekankan untuk memastikan kemajuan teknologi memberi impak yang besar, terutamanya kepada sektor swasta. Tidak kiralah berapa kecil atau berapa besar, mereka mahu syarikat mereka untuk mendapatkan manfaat dan memuaskan pelanggan mereka kerana mereka untuk mencapai visi dan misi syarikat. Di samping itu juga, dalam era pembangunan pesat, sektor swasta telah bertambah baik daripada pelbagai aspek seperti industri 4.0, pencapaian kepada teknologi, pembuatan dan teknologi lain yang mempercepatkan dan melicinkan cara sebuah syarikat membuat lebih mudah, iaitu dengan lebih cekap dengan hanya menggunakan robot dan teknologi sebagai peralatan utama dalam operasi ini. Ini adalah kerana di Amerika Syarikat, penyelidik yang bernama Kit Hall dan Robert Greer berkata bahawa sejak awal lagi kemesulitan besar ekonomi, sektor swasta telah meningkatkan telah berkembang maju di kebanyakan negeri. Contohnya di Kanada, sektor awam juga mencerminkan pertumbuhan kerja persendirian. Di UK juga di sebaliknya berlaku. Apabila sektor swasta semakin berkembang, maka sektor awam semakin mengecut. Ini menjadikan kedua-dua sektor adalah sangat penting dalam kebergantungan mereka untuk meningkatkan baki masing-masing dalam krisis globalisasi kini.
For my part, my name is Nazrin Nasri. My magic number is N17008. Okay, I would like to talk about the roles of private agency in research and development. Okay, what is research and development, or R&D? Research and development, R&D, covers practice conducted by businesses to evolve and launch new goods and services to the customer to ensure that their product can be competitive in the market nowadays. Goal is to deliver new goods and services to the market and to benefit the bottom line of the business, to ensure that their product and services are beneficial and able to compete in the market right now. Okay, next, roles of private agency in R&D. The word R&D is commonly related to creativity involved businesses and government, industries, and the public and the private sector. All the sector that currently in the world right now. So, what is R&D? Their main purpose for R&D is to add the company long-term productivity to ensure that the product able to compete in the market for the future, not in short term, but for the future. That predict the risk-adjusted return on their R&D expenditure to make sure that their expenditure for R&D is beneficial to the company itself. Okay, as you can see here, this is the company that spend the most on R&D. The first one is Amazon. You know what is Amazon? Amazon is the most used online shopping in the world right now. All people around the world use Amazon. So to make sure that their online shoppers are satisfied with the service, so that's why they spend lots of money on R&D. And as you can see here, there are Alphabet, Volkswagen, Samsung, Intel Corporation, Microsoft, Apple, Roche, Johnson & Johnson, and many. Okay, to summarize of roles of private agency in R&D, to summarize what I talked from the beginning, is improve customer competition, cost management gain, advance in communication capabilities, and trend setting are also incentive business to engage in R&D. R&D may help an organization monitor or remain ahead of industry development to keep the business active to ensure that their company can able to compete in the market. Okay, that's all for now. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Shukri, and today I will talk about engineering technology and private sector, which is contribution of engineer in corporate sector. Okay, contribution of engineer in corporate sector are one of the greatest, if not the greatest, engineering feat was the introduction of electricity. Its development have had an incredible impact on our corporate sector. And second point, contribution of engineer towards corporate sector is development of economics. Developed economic can be defined in many ways, such as economics in the human science, which is study the relationship between scarce resources and their various use which compete for these resources. And after that, I will talk about classification of economics activity. The first point is primary sector. Simply speaking, primary sector refer to that sector of the economy which is use natural resources to produce goods, and natural factors play crucial role in the production process. Agriculture and allied activities like mining, fishing, forestry, dairy and poultry are included in this sector. And second point is secondary sector. Secondary sector is also called as manufacturing sector or industrial sector. The sector which transform one physical good into another is called secondary sector. The manufacturing, electricity, gas, water supply and so on are included in this sector. And
engineering, technology, and globalization. Okay, what is globalization? Globalization is a process of interaction and integration between individuals, business, and government of different countries. A mechanism guided by international trade and investment assisted by information technology. Okay, this cycle has an influence on the government, environment, culture, political structures, economic growth, stability, and human physical well-being of society around the world. Okay. Advances in telecommunication and transport technology have contributed to significant shift in the global climate. The modern telecommunications network offers a global exchange of information. Rapid technological development is leading to new technologies, new markets, and new knowledge. National borders have become more permeable to resources, commodities, and skilled labor. What about impact globalization on education? Okay. Experts consider economic development a byproduct of a large educational system and point out that educational institutions cannot be large simply by serving national economic interests. The mobility of technical professionals between countries is on the increase. European education administrators are now faced with an urgent need to evolve to a whole set of dramatic changes. Training is now a strategic sector in Europe. Training is required to play a key role in achieving the strategical goal collection. In this context, the position of higher education is rising dramatically. Okay, what it do to an engineering? Okay, today, technical professionals must continually develop their skills and continue their training throughout their careers in order to compete in the global marketplace. Engineer is a professional applicator of technology equipped with basic technical knowledge, equipped with engineering resources, and ready to face problems that have never been seen before in an environment that is open and competitive. Okay, did globalization impact on environment? The answer is yes. Okay, as you know, increasing consumption contribute to an increase in the output of product, which is in effect puts stress on the environment. Globalization has also led to an increase in the transport of raw materials and food from one location to another. The amount of fuel used in the transport of these goods has contributed to a rise in environmental pollution rates. Okay, contribute to a variety of other environmental issues such as noise pollution and land intrusion. Okay, as summary of engineering, technology, and globalization. Globalization is potentially positive but needs better management. It is important for engineering and technology graduates to develop global competence skill to be successful in industry. Globalization has resulted in increased international trade, a company operating in more than one country, sharing on knowledge and developing technology, freer movement of capital, goods and services, greater dependence on the global economy. Okay, for conclusion of engineering technologies and private sector, my friend will continue. Thank you.
Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, in engineering technologies, we will talk about vision on industry structure. What is vision? Vision is a industry 4.0 that is original future vision described in a high-tech strategy of the German government that is to conceive open information and communication technologies such as physical, cyber-physical system, Internet of Things (IoT), physical internet and internet service. Okay, what we can achieve from the vision? We can achieve a high degree flexibility in production, higher productivity rate through real-time monitoring and diagnosis. Lastly, we can lower the wastage rate of material in production. Okay, why we need industry 4.0? Because nowadays it's a global industry major in creating intelligent technology product and process and procedure. Okay, for what? To make communication easier between workers, machines, and resources in smart factory. Next is IoT and Internet of Service are the soul of the Industry 4.0. It is a ubiquitous connectivity of machine and people and things. And lastly, it also leads to the connectivity of virtual world, VR, and physical object in real world. Okay, this is the example Industrial Revolution timeline. We can see that 118th century Industrial Revolution, that is water steam power that is used to create mechanical production activities. And next, second is Industrial Revolution, third Industrial Revolution, and fourth is Internet of Things. The next, what can we differentiate from the Industry 3.0 and 4.0? Industry 3.0 is a machine that's only optimized. Example is CNC milling machines. The tool automatically change, but the speed by the spindle run need to be observed by the operator, and correction that should be made by him. Is totally different from 4.0 because machine work autonomously without the intervention of human. Okay, we will take about example CNC milling machines. Again, the tool is automatically changed, but at the same time, the speed, optimum setting, and other parameters essential that are being recorded by the hundred of sensors present in the machine are done on its own on large amount of data. So there's no observed by human. Okay, next. How IoT works and the benefits in IoT ecosystem. The web enables smart device that use to embedded processor, sensor, communication hardware to collect, send, and act on the data that acquired from its environment. Its device share the sensor data to the cloud to be analyzed through an IoT gateway. For what? How? The benefits. It can monitor their overall business process, improve customer experience, enhance employee productivity, and save time and money, of course. Okay, lastly is the conclusion. Vision of Industry 4.0 is considered disruptive and technology that will pave the way to the new generation of advanced industrial structure where completely different than existing one. It assumes the broad support of an entire life cycle of the system, product, and series, a complete value of chain from provider to customer and all enterprise, business function and service. The requirement Industry 4.0 are enormous potential for manufacture towards smart factory. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Hasil daripada pembentangan berkenaan dengan engineering teknologi and private sector, kita boleh mengatakan bahawa kesemua faktor ini memainkan peranan yang penting dalam memastikan bahawa pelbagai hasil yang baik dan dihasilkan seperti meningkatkan cukai pendapatan korporat, dengan sumbangan jurutera yang mempunyai keupayaan untuk menjana dan terus menggunakan teknologi kepada syarikat dan terutamanya sektor swasta. Di samping itu juga potensi globalisasi yang positif dengan pengurusan terbaik boleh menyebabkan graduan kejuruteraan dan teknologi dapat membangunkan kemahiran kompetensi global untuk berjaya dalam industri ini. Secara tidak langsung ia juga mendapat faedah daripada penggunaan industri 4.0 benar penambahan baik yang mendorong dan memacu semua kemajuan teknologi dan penggunaan robot tanpa had dalam pembuatan syarikat, dan ianya juga mengambil sokongan yang luas terhadap keseluruhan sistem, produk dan siri yang diedarkan secara organik. Konsep yang sama seperti automotif 4.0, logistik 4.0 dan pendidikan 4.0 mempunyai persamaan dengan erti sebenar industri 4.0, hanya dengan penggunaan alat ICT, sambungan dan tangkapan serta analisis data masa kini. Laluan kepada pemakaian konsep pengeluaran industri 4.0 masih jauh daripada ini. Kertas ini membentangkan beberapa topik fokus. Internet, teknologi, komunikasi, industri 4.0 akan menjadi sangat menarik bagi semua syarikat, tidak kira saiz, yang memerlukan lebih daripada perkerasan untuk menggunakan sepenuhnya potensi IoT, iaitu Internet of Things. Perkerasan, presisian dan ekosistem perkhidmatan diperlukan di mana syarikat kecil dan dapat menggalakkan untuk bekerja dengan syarikat yang lebih besar dan membangun serta untuk bekerjasama antara satu sama lain. Perkembangan ini di luar trend semasa dan industri 4.0 tidak boleh diabaikan. Terdapat juga teknologi yang mempengaruhi pemasaran lain di manakala secara tradisinya adalah satu pemasaran. Dalam era komunikasi memainkan peranan yang sangat penting. Setiap kenderaan menjadi sebahagian daripada ekosistem yang kompleks. Komunikasi dengan sistem yang lain adalah penting untuk memacu autonomi. Pada akhir kata, keperluan industri 4.0 adalah teknologi yang menawarkan potensi yang besar untuk mengeluarkan semikonduktor dan kejayaan syarikat mereka. Transformasi dalam 4.0 adalah ke arah kilang yang keseluruhannya dikawal oleh robot. Sekian, terima kasih.